Hello, welcome to Behind the Scenes on Youth Squad Legends. We got the first video of 3 I think I'm going to put out. Try and make them basically as quick as possible. This is going to be Regen Roundup. We're going to round up the Regens, the best Regens in this save. And then we're going to talk about the signings that I made and why I decided to choose them players. They're pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. Here we are on FIFA Tracker. This is a site that shows you all the details of the players very quickly, very concisely, and there's a lot less faffing around than what you would have to do in a career mode save. Hours turn into minutes on FIFA Tracker, and it's a massive help on the series, to be honest. This is how I did all my scouting for episode 12 and the shortlist of regens, free agents that I collected the night before. I use it. It shows off the potentials. There's a word of warning if you don't want the potentials of any of the Stockport players to be unveiled to you. Then you might want to click off now. I know them, so it's not really a spoiler for me. I know them because I had to fix dynamic potential. It sucks in that case. Like, it was a surprise for me, like, finding out certain potentials in this series. But it does suck. Because I wanted to try and make it as vanilla as possible, but my hands were forced because dynamic potential is so broken. For me, this site doesn't open up any extra wormholes, any extra information that I don't know already. Okay, so in terms of the integrity of the save, it's the exact same for me. But if you want to try and keep it secret to yourself, that's fine. But unfortunately, I think this is where we have to say goodbye for this video. But for everybody who's really interested in seeing further information, diving deeper into the save, this is wicked. This is also killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because I can also do a show and tell on the Patreon players when the Add a Player and Add a Wonder Kids come into the save as well. We can kind of track them way better than what we did with Ipswich, Leyton Orient, and Harrogate Town, to be honest. It's something, to be honest, this behind the scenes stuff is something that I should have done years ago, or should have started years ago. Anyway, right, okay. The save is uploaded. I believe this is where we finished on episode 12. Let's click players, and you can see the main cast of season 2 high overall players. Mbappe is the top, 93 overall. Courtois, De Bruyne, or Black. Donnarumma, Haaland, Neuer. Do we really need to go through these? I mean, you probably, if you really want more information, get yourself, open a save up on FIFA 23 if you got it, and do the digging yourself, to be honest. Or slow down this video. I can just, scroll for a little bit. These are the best players in the save, and it's not really surprising whatsoever. Cool. The magic really does happen when I click generated players. Now, I've changed the columns. I've changed the visible columns here. I might actually change them a little bit more so it's easier to show. I can keep the valuation. Do we really need... We probably need the contract because it actually shows the club as well. I've added height and skill moves weak foot. It's just a fantastic tool. It really is. These are the regens, the drops of the Season 2 drops, let's say. And dropping it right at the top. Surprising one, to be honest. You don't usually see an 80 overall from Season 2. Torsten Fischer. Very incredibly German name. That's another problem with the name pools, I feel, that they are so quintessentially from that nation. It doesn't feel like there's any kind of deviation whatsoever, which it's just annoying. They're so bland. They're just bland, aren't they? Really nicely rounded forward player there. 3-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves. I like that. 3-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves usually get some really nice players from it. Strangely, I could actually sign him up right now because negotiation strictness is on loose, but I have restraint. I was actually going to keep myself to 65 overall players and under for Season 2. But with Bustamante being a surprising overall, I didn't expect him to be that high at the start of the series from that free agents list. But he was surprisingly high, and we needed the players. at that point, I think it was a right call for us to use the board objectives to say, look, this guy's gonna leave unless you make playoffs, and then there's a bigger push to the playoffs and a little bit loosening, make sure like we're still within reason of signing players, but just allow us to sign a little bit better quality players to try and push for the playoffs to try and keep Bustamante. That's my idea. But, you know, that pressure's good to try and get to the playoffs because Bustamante probably shouldn't, like, hang around in League Two for anything over this season. So we've looked at Fisher. But look at, like, the top 5. I don't want these videos to drag on, like, super, super long. Most of the regens, like, they drop with a certain, like, template, so you'll be able to understand most of the attributes anyway without actually seeing the individual attributes of every single player. Rafa Velasco is our second best regen at the moment, and he is also a free agent. How about that? Same height, absolutely the same height. This is in centimeters, as you might have already figured out. He's got 4-star weak foot, and he is rapid, and that speed helps him on the wing. He's also a 76 on the wing, alongside his cam rating. Let's have a look at the next one. It's a Polish goalkeeper called Alex Wilk. Polish W's, it should be pronounced Wilk. 77 overall goalkeeper. Got terrible reactions, to be honest, but 81 diving. That's pretty cool. He's playing for Monaco. Okay, so he's the best regen at a club at the moment. The 2 Portuguese centre-backs below him, they both have clubs. So what we got? Francisco Martins. Oh, he's only 5'9". Yikes. He's playing for Portimonense. How high is his potential? 82 potential. We might see him in the series. Emmanuel Castro rounds off. I think it's rounds off. Rounds off the top 5. And he's playing for Stade Rem. And he's small as well. Damn. So you're looking at about 183 centimeters, 6 foot. Cool. And height is definitely something that we were looking for in Stockport. Then we got Castro playing. Sorry, no, we've just had a look at Castro. 6th place is Jesper Ali, who is a striker for Sweden. Probably Ibrahimovic's regen. Probably short. Yep, we always have short Swedish Ibrahimovic regens, always on Youth Squad Legends. I think I've done about 18 series, in over 10 years, and I think like 2 or 3 of the saves, the Ibrahimovic regen was above 6 foot. It's absolutely crazy. Diaz right back for Augsburg. Just list these 70 overall regens now. Zisco Garcia, nice name. He's playing for Leganes. Yeah, Leganes. Wow, good badge knowledge. He's got 80 potential right there. Ruben Castro, another goalkeeper, 74 overall, reached his potential already. Been pretty tall, though. He's playing for Cologne. It's probably an Argentine club that looks very South American, that badge. Pedro Barbosa for Hanover. Centre-back, loads of centre-backs. Jay Watson, English centre-back. Ibot. We've got centre-forward Ethan Fontaine. He's playing for Stuttgart. Richard Cech. He's got 81 potential. He's Turkish side. Kasimpasa. Sorry. Pronunciation going to be terrible there. Rafael Rodriguez playing for the Portland Timbers. He is 73 overall with 79 potential. Paredes, 72 overall with 80 potential, playing for Boa Vista. 199 centimeters, very, very tall. Lucas Scott, Scottish goalkeeper playing for Kilmarnock. I like when that happens. If he was a free agent, obviously, he might have just dropped into the club. That's more likely. There should be a code within the game that kind of just doesn't force like the nationalities to play in that league, but kind of persuades the game to make more transfers of that nationality. because that would add to way more realism, especially with just free agent players being signed up. Reece Wright is a right winger. Reece Wright, right winger. Oh my God. That is difficult to say. 72 overall and 82 potential. Nice potential, to be fair. Might be Gareth Bale's regen. Didn't even think about that. 5-star weak foot. Good on both feet. Free agent at the moment. There's Ivan Bustamante. And you might be really, really shocked to know, yeah, he's very close to his potential. I'm not that shocked, to be honest. Usually, them free agent players are very, very poor first season. Surprised that Bustamante was so high overall, but not surprised at his potential. And that is with the... oh no, he didn't get improved. He didn't get improved with dynamic potential fix because he was just so high for the level. But yeah, there's our first Stockport player. He's 18th. He's the 18th best regen at the moment in the save. Ivan Rizzo, 72 overall, 79 potential, free agent. Miguel Cruz, he's playing for Nice at the moment, 72 overall. Fran Hernandez, goalkeeper, 72 overall. And then we got, yes, we got 2 Ukrainians on this list. Kovalenko at 80 potential. And Shevchuk. Yeah, I took one look at this list as I was scouting these free agents and decided that we needed the Football Manager name pool because it was absolutely shocking. The Italian that we bought, Pegoraro, or signed up, the Italian Pegoraro, actually had, not a bad name, but I believe there's a goalkeeper that you'll see soon with the exact same surname, so it was very common in the Italian name pool. And if we were to replace every single name, if we were to replace names with Football Manager names, then we have to do it with every single name because we have to be fair to make the great names of the save legit. You see what I'm saying? So we couldn't, nitpick. We couldn't say, oh, that's a good name, so it stays. No, we're not having that. So Kovalenko, centre-back, 72 overall, and we've got Battaglia. I remember all the way back in Chesterfield that people were saying them G's are silent, so it's probably Battaglia. 72 overall, Leroy. CDM, 72 overall. Otto Baumann, 71 overall. And there's Shevchuk. I heard, was it a DM on Twitter? Someone told me very recently that they tried to contact when they were doing the beta, the Ukrainian scouts, maybe even alpha stage of FIFA 23, that the Ukrainian scout reports were absolutely dross names. It was just Shevchuk and Koval, whatever the fuck it is, Kovalenko. Nothing got done. FIFA 23 is a flawless game that cannot be critiqued in any way, shape, or form. I'm not putting that to the mine total, by the way. It's not within the main series, okay? I don't want to skimp myself. Look, running this electric is going to cost a fucking shit ton. Timothy Lambert, French striker, got a really high potential. 179, probably a 5'11" there. Javi Hurtado, 78 potential, 71 overall. We're getting to the bottom now. Julio Rivera, left back, playing for Talares. Cool. Ismael Barrera. Lots of goalkeepers. Lots of high overall goalkeepers. Uruguayan. Then we got Iker Ojeda. Another goalkeeper. Pedro Pinto. Yeah, I do like alliteration. A lot. Central attacking midfield, Uruguayan. Eduardo Gomez. So we just scroll down. Oh, Japanese. Man, I don't know what it is, right? And I'm definitely not the only one that has this feeling, yeah? There is something about Japanese regens. There's something about them. I don't know, man. You kind of just drawn. I'm personally drawn to it, and I know I'm not the only person who's drawn to wanting more Japanese regens. John Arias, who was a player, I'm pretty sure a player that I slightly looked at. He might have been 69 at the start. He's grown to 70, is that right? Flick through it. He was a little bit too good. 189 height. He could have been the guy for me, but I was all for Pegoraro. David Keller. What is that? What is that team? I don't think I've ever seen that team. Delphin SC. Is that the rest of the world? Oh, I've lost... generated players. It's all right. I didn't filter it. We're all right. That's why I right-click a lot. Right-click, add to new tab, because usually you lose your place if you press back. Let's go back to it. David Keller, 70 overall. Selivovic, 70 overall. Lido Nunez. You're getting a good sense of which players are the best players at the moment, regen-wise, in the save. And then we get to the 69s. Okay, let's go to advanced filters now. I don't want to be spending too much time on this. I did overall rating 60, and then max 69, I believe. Let's get that searched. And whilst that's searching, we can minimize that. And there we go. At the top, it was that striker that I was looking at. Louis Bourgeois. He's got decent sprint speed, but actually not great acceleration. 5'11". I just didn't... Straight away, I was like, we've got to get a striker in, because I don't want it all to be on Juicy John. Juicy John, I think he is 6 foot, but he doesn't feel like a tall player. He feels more like a Sabali than a Bobby Monk. There you go. It's very, very, very easy to talk about in that aspect. So we needed someone a bit bigger. So Bourgeois, completely out the question. No, thank you. So let's close that down. We probably actually can go into the strikers as well. The primary position, just put that to striker. Because this is definitely the first thing that I was doing. It's kind of the most exciting thing as well, looking for strikers. Kai Kramer. And then we got Rodrigo Aguiar. Kramer's actually 185. How about that? Did I only look for free agents? Maybe that's a possible thing that I did. Or I might have organised by potential. Might have done that. But down here, not that far down, we found our man. And it was his name at the start that kind of sprung me to this player. But he actually turned out to be the lad that we eventually went for, because his stats are not bad. His acceleration is far better than the lad at the top. 74 acceleration, 82 sprint speed. He is a very good canvas to build a player upon. Only got 2-star weak foot and skill moves, but does have that high attacking work rate and the low defensive. Fantastic. So that's how we signed him. Wasn't called Pegoraro at the start, but that old name has gone. That old Longo name has gone. And he's the player. He's the player that we got. I'm going to guess that most of these players were already at their clubs, because it was definitely a shorter list than this. We were just saving a bit of money, getting it from the from the free agents. What's the point of getting someone similar from a club when you can pay absolutely nothing for a striker that's just as good? High potential as well at 77. So that is solid. Something that some of the players in front of him don't share. Like Miroslav Novak, for instance, only got a potential of 75. After that, we were just looking for height, really. So let's go and change these filters. We don't need primary position striker. We just like height, which would be in appearance. Height minimum, I think I put 183 because I know 187. I put 187, so I know that's about 161, 162. So we search that. And then minimize the filters again. We get to see some of our players. There you go. There's the goalkeeper called Lungo. So that's going to be a very common name. Mamadou Faye, Leonardo Branco at 187, probably playing. I can't actually search our free agents because we'll never see our players. Most of these will have been playing. There you go. But when you see, they're both together, perfect. When you see South Korea in there, yeah, again, as much like the Japanese, I'm kind of like drawn to the East Asian player because we just don't have that many East Asian players in there. And like a monstrous East Asian 6 foot, some of these stats were just like jumping out. And it wasn't actually me that was really convinced about him. It was like I was sharing screen on Discord, and the lads that were seeing it were like, "You've got to sign that player up." And early signs, really solid, chunky player, stocky build as well. Just absolutely brutal. Really good at defensive midfield and centre back. Just can do a job wherever. Yang Sung Chan. I'm not too sure of the organisation of his name. I've tried to make it similar to that of every other Korean player within the game, and I try my best. Okay, it's nice as well, FIFA Tracker, that it includes the player ID, so I can do player edits without actually having to go into the game. Really, really nice stuff. Thank you, Aranak, too. And Tege is probably the way to say it. And Tege was not a player that I was looking for, to be honest. But he's just strange. Ugandan goalkeeper is just a very interesting combination. I don't think we've had any other Ugandan players playing in Youth Squad Legends, so there's another country ticked off the list probably. And he was always going to be backup. I could have picked anyone for backup. So why not do it for the Ugandan player? There he is. Wicked. So we have what? Ntege, Yang Sung Chan. Probably the Peñarol player is somewhere around here as well. The Peñarol player, honestly, I just did it for the vibes because, Alejandro Recoba, who is not signed up by Stockport, but I did it for the vibes of Peñarol being like the absolute go-to club on Football Manager, and it would just be very, very funny to also buy a Peñarol player in FIFA as well, just to kind of like complete the circle. Unfortunately, it's not happened like that, and I don't actually think we needed that fifth player. Recoba's dreams of being included in Youth Squad Legends might have already gone down the shitter because I don't want to overwhelm this team. There's some really good players in it, and I would like to carry them all the way through. The last guy that we looked for because I knew that we needed help on the wings. I haven't shown it yet, but I know that Johnson's potential is shot. Very, very surprised at how bad Johnson is. In terms of potential, obviously, playing-wise, he's all right. He's going to have just some seriously good seasons to make him anywhere a decent player. He might get completely engulfed in the quality that eventually takes over Stockport, and he might be resigned to loans and whatnot. I hope that's not the case, but with Novak being injured, with Johnson not having a high potential, there had to be another winger. There had to be. Cook was leaving. I tried Saiz on the wing, that didn't work. Nothing seemed to work. We might play Anderson there as well. So I think I don't actually think we actually looked for any kind of filters whatsoever. We just took the best winger that we could. So let's search this. I think it's the best free agent winger that was there available at the time. Let's have a look. See if that's the case. I mean, he is 69 overall. There he is. Arju Perez Lopez. By far the best winger. By far the best winger that was available to us. Doesn't matter about like skill moves and that. We can work on that. But Jesus Christ, the acceleration and sprint speed on this lad. Night and day difference. And that made up the shortlist. And that was our first Regen roundup, I guess. There might be a bit more detail and in-depth knowledge as we go on through the seasons. Obviously, we have to cover the Patreon stuff as well when they get added. But, you know, quick show of, like, Season 2. And even this quick show has given you far more information. Let's have a look at the team as well. Let's have a look at Stockport. So you can see the players. Big spoiler warnings. There we go. You see the players there? Oh, look at that. Fantastic. So, yeah, forget that lineup. So, goalkeepers, Ure Lopez now has a 70 potential. That's good. Riley Sanders, really high potential. Fantastic stuff for Riley. Soto, 79. Bustamante, 73. Duda is 84. Kramer has got 76. Kovalchik, 83. Shimon has only got 65. Jimmy Gallagher, 70. Yang Sun Chan's at 79. Noah Anderson, 84. Coit Cook, 76. Rasmus Persson, 76. Pegararo, 77. Eddie Johnson, yeah, just shocking. We knew how bad Rafa Reina was. He only went up +1, I think, with the dynamic potential fix as well. So, I don't know. He's kind of a mean player, isn't he? So he probably stays around for the series, but he's just trying to raise a sinking ship there. It's very difficult to do. Rodney Pate is obviously in the first team. Francis John, 78 potential. Guerrero, I mean, how surprising is that? I was very surprised when I saw that he had a player potential of 85. He's gone up 2 with the dynamic potential fix. Pavel Novak, 72, and right at the bottom there, Perez Lopez, 73. But I think he'll have some decent seasons to improve that. And if he doesn't improve it, it will do a job, I know, because that kind of overall rating is exactly what we need to try and push for a playoff spot and keep Bustamante around the club. Loaned out, nothing to show there. And before you say, oh, you might be like siding with certain players that might not be playing well, but you know they've got high potential, that is not the case. Because Saiz, if we can find him, Saiz, generated players, that would help. And sort by potential, is the 3rd best in terms of potential. But because I didn't like to play with him, forget the potential for a second, I would sell him at this point, and I'm not going to change my mind on that. I did also say in the series that I know that he's got a high potential, because he has got a high potential, and if he, develops, which you're expecting, obviously, now that he's out of our team, if he develops, we can always give him another chance. But there you go. Just so you know, it is not just me playing favoritism on the high potential players. No, Saiz was really high potential. It's very incredibly surprising. What is it? Curacao players haven't changed their names just yet, and that will be the tutorial that we'll do very soon. I haven't done the tutorial on that, and I haven't changed their names, but they've got really fucking high potentials. 85, and that is your lot. Willems, yeah, Max Willems was another one. Really high potential, but I didn't like the player, so I sold him off. Simple as. It's not really difficult to find players with high potentials if you don't like a player. I would rather keep, say, a player that I like that has a low potential than a player that I don't like that has a high potential, just be simply because he's got a high potential. That's not Youth Squad Legends. That's never how we're going to work it. So that's it. Full stop. And yeah, I think, look, I covered it as well as I can. It's very laid back. I'm sorry if you're like expecting it to be high quality and high editing. That's not going to happen in this stuff. It's just really laid back. We just talk about stuff. We just talk about the players within the save. All right, next one up, I'll probably talk about the dynamic potential applied, so you guys get a better understanding of how the dynamic potential fix works. That should be a quick video, and then we'll get on to changing the names here. Ramsey Simmons and Hanley Simmons. That's dead, isn't it? It's absolutely, this name pull is dead. See you next time.